All right. Today's stock market weekend as that gave up most of its gains because of the Fed's beige book showing weakness. The market deteriorated and was back to where it started as investors saw their hopes for higher than expected GDP wear off with the Fed's beige book showing slow overall economic activity, with auto sales mixed and furniture and appliances sales declining. Travel and tourism remained robust while transportation services lagged. Meanwhile, manufacturers gave weaker outlook. Business real estate loans dropped, while office real estate activity remained depressed. Separately, consumer credit held up, although some banks reported slightly higher delinquencies. The labor market softened, but majority of Fed's district claimed more job applicants and more workers stayed in their jobs. Crypto markets, Bitcoin's trying to push past 38,000 at 38,400. There are $1.5 billion of short liquidations that might happen that expired this Friday. Interesting thing to watch out for. And Ethereum is still holding about 2,000, looking to break through. Solana is almost at 60 as airdrop enthusiasm has picked up. This week has a lot of interesting and exciting earnings announcements. So far, we already saw CrowdStrike, that is part of our portfolio. Snowflake announced today with Salesforce and OKTA, which we also have in our portfolio, which we'll cover now. OKTA went down about 3% today, partially because even though they reported better than expected results, their stock tumbled because of a data breach. So they reported earnings of 48 cents per share, and revenue climbed 21% to 584 million. Analysts expected 30 cents and 560 million. Now, the pressure for the stock is because of a data breach. Prior to the earnings report and the announcement data breach, the stock declined 7%. The company did disclose that the recent hack incident impacted more customers than previously disclosed. So being a cybersecurity company, that is a big faux pas. They did give good guidance for the future, but some of the competitors might use this incident to take market share. Some of these competitors are Zclair, ZC, that is up 3% today. CrowdStrike from yesterday is also up 10% today. In other earnings, Snowflake reported today. It went up about 9.5% in total. The company earnings climbed 32% to 734 million, which was better than expected, and they gave positive guidance. They increased their customers and net retention, which is always good. Salesforce also reported positive numbers, totaling about 10% total today. They had better than expected third quarter. Company reported earnings of $2.11 per share, well above the $2.06 estimate. Revenue of $8.72 billion, topped the expectations of $8.71 billion, and the guidance was adjusted to 225 to 226 compared to the 217 that was expected. Now, lastly, I want to touch on Coinbase. Coinbase has seen a massive spike this month, and it remains the biggest position in our equity portfolio. The reason this is happening is because of cryptocurrency markets have rallied about 40% from 1 trillion to 1.4 trillion recently. And a lot of competition is either being busted by authorities for doing improper KYC or doing illegal things. So Coinbase seems to be the only game in town at this point that can be trusted. The upcoming ETFs, many of which will use Coinbase as a custodian or a price service provider, both things would result in lots of revenue for Coinbase and allow a bunch of liquidity to come into the market from large institutions. Now, in the news about Coinbase, Cathie Wood's ARK Invest recently sold $5.3 million worth of Coinbase and then bought Robinhood. The reason this is not a lack of confidence in Coinbase. It is because ARK already has Coinbase as their largest position. And anytime it goes above 10%, they have to sell according to their bylaws of how their ETF is structured. As you can see now, as of today, Coinbase is 11.3%, the biggest holding. So they will have to trim this down to under 10, probably reallocate. And some of that might go again to Robinhood, which is, I just saw it right here, it's just 2.7% allocation. Robinhood also benefits a lot from cryptocurrencies. As we saw in the last bull market, it was a large portion of their revenue. So I would not be surprised if ARK sells percentage of Coinbase and reallocates to Robinhood as it maintains their crypto exposure and benefit there. But it is not a lack of confidence. It is they're forced to sell because Coinbase has gone up so much recently. That's it for the market today. Tomorrow, we will look out for Kroger, TD Bank, Cracker Barrel. No names, but we're more excited in the after close announcements for UiPath and Elastic. That we own Elastic, but we're keeping an eye on UiPath. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date for stocks and crypto news from Cryptonomics. Thanks for watching.